What's up, guys? Rick Denham here, Holy Moly Outdoors. It is Thursday, March 15th, 2018, and we're doing something new. Excited? Because I am. We're doing something called Test Tank Thursday. And what we're doing with this one today, we're having a Kokanee Blade Showdown. And you guys are not going to want to miss this. So, stay tuned! Following suit of our review on the Carnivore Blade, it sparked some ideas out there and some suggestions came my way, and thank you, Calvin, for that, to do a comparative video in regards to how different blades act with different lures and what it looks like really to the fish. And I thought this was a great idea, so what we're going to do today is showcase to you guys typical kokanee rigs and how these blades work with that. Now what we're going to talk about specifically is just a plain hoochie, and we're going to do a control as well with a little rasticle. So you see something that has pretty much no weight and something that has just the weight of the squid. So it's going to give these blades a little bit different action based upon the rig that's used on. It's going to give you guys an idea of how much action these blades impart to that. So I'm really excited to show you this. We're going to stick with just our general slow troll blades. So we're talking about smile blade is one. We're going to go with a mini shaker wing is the second one. We're going to go with a carnivore blade is a third, and we're going to talk about a spinning glow as a fourth. Not a lot of people use spinning glows, but let me tell you, a small size like a size 12 is the perfect kokanee size, and they really do work well. So we're going to showcase that off of two different rigs, and I'm going to even throw in an additional size to the squid, because I have it rigged up here as an 1.5" micro squid. So a lot of people may have those, but I can guarantee more like to run these 2" squids. This happens to be a Rocky Mountain Tackle Caribbean 2" squid, glows in the dark. This was an 1.5" Hoochie King. And I'll put everything in the links below so you guys can know exactly what I was using. The control is that these are all tied on 15-pound test fluorocarbon with number 4 Eagle Claw laser sharp hooks. So everything is the same. All we're doing is just what we add to it. So you see here we just have the internal beads. There's 4 little 3mm beads and a bearing bead on top for the squid. And our little rasticle, like I said, is just going to have 2 beads and then the blade. So it's going to be awesome to see how this really plays out. And we'll switch out the hoochie skirt just to showcase a little bit larger profile. But here we go. This is going to be fun. So we'll start with the smile blade, and we're going to go through the list. The micro shaker wing, carnivore blade, and then your spinning glow. So we'll start with the hoochie skirt and the smile blade. Alright guys, so here we're looking at that micro hoochie with the Mack smile blade, and you can see gives it a little kick when that current kicks up there, little wiggle to it. You guys can imagine, on top of being used with a dodger additionally, that this will be very effective to give some extra movement to the rig itself. And here we are with that 2" Rocky Mountain Tackle squid. Gives some nice wobble and wiggle to the tail end there, the squid skirt itself. So whether you're using a 2" or the 1.5", the Mack Smile Blade really is a good looking blade there to be using. Slow speeds, 1 mile an hour, 1.5 miles, gonna be perfect for this type of blade. And here we have the rasticle and the smile blade. You can see there's a lot more direct action because of the lighter rigging itself.
Creates a lot of movement, a lot of flash. And this will be a very effective rig on high pressure situations, and very effective on a lot of different lakes. So that's the Mack Smile Blade, guys, with your squid and your rasticle presentations. Alright, now we got the mini shaker wing on here, and something I'm already seeing is that because of the way that the consistent current flow is, you're not given as real or true of movement as you would in the water, because this shaker wing really makes that thing move. Like you can see it kick there, and it gives it a lot more erratic action to that squid skirt, more than the Mack Smile Blade does, and it actually wobbles and gets outside of the, what is that, probably a 3 or 4 inch tube range that we have. So I would say that with the shaker wing you're getting more movement on the presentation, and you're, like I said, restricted based here upon the environment to see how it really works. But you can see when that current actually catches the blade itself, it really makes that squid dance and move erratically. So you get a lot more erratic action with one of these shaker wings, and that in itself can draw a lot more strikes. Alright, so here is the 2-inch Rocky Mountain Tackle squid skirt with the shaker wing, and you can see here it wants to gravitate towards the sides, and there's a good example of it catching right. But the way that the current is within that tube isn't as consistent as one would have maybe just trolling generally. So we're not getting 100% as true of action, but you can see there when it is catching, that gives a very, very erratic wiggle, and it really is something that will draw fish in to strike. I personally like running these as well on my gear. I happen to even have caught one of my first Chelan Chinooks on this rig just right here that we're seeing. So it's a very effective blade. It gives a lot of erratic wobble, a little bit more aggressive than the Smile Blade does. So it's a really awesome look here. Now we got the rasticle going with that shaker wing. You can see it really wants to drive that wiggle around the circumference of the tube inside here of the test tank. So you do get some really good action as it hits correctly, but it also wants to sometimes wobble outside of that zone, which really I think is part of a almost skip beat kind of action that you would see to draw in more strikes. So I really think that erratic wobble gives any kind of bait, whether it's a squid skirt or like this case a rasticle, it gives it some unique properties to catch more fish. So that's the shaker wing, guys. And now we're on to the Carnivore Blade. You guys can see here, this gives a erratic wobble, almost like the shaker wing in some sort, but when you fine tune that blade, it also gives a bullet kind of spin like a Mack Smile Blade. So it's like a combination of the two. I like it because it looks like it's catching a little different, and that could just be the positioning there of the current, but it gives a really cool wobble, and I really like how that works with that little mini squid skirt there. You're going to have a lot of action imparted on any of the lures that you're using. Alright, and here's a Carnivore Blade paired up with our 2-inch squid skirt. Again, gives some really great wobble action. I really like how that looks. And here's the Carnivore with the rasticle. A nice wobble and occasionally almost a skip beat type action. Really looks good. And here we got the spinning glow from Yakima bait. Adds a little bit of wobble to it, I'm surprised. Actually looks really good. A little bit tighter of a spin than the other blades give, but it gives a little bit of wobble to it. And it's got flash on those mylar blades, so you're adding extra attraction, and that's really good. I'm a little surprised on that one, in a good way. I like it. And here we are with a spinning glow on a 2-inch squid. It really does add a nice little subtle wobble, some extra flash, and that will definitely catch kokanee. And there's the rasticle with the spinning glow, which really for a compact presentation looks ridiculously good. Spins the easiest, most consistently, gives it a small bit of wobble, paired up with a dodger to give it extra movement ahead of it. This is going to be a killer combination.
Hey guys, now that we're done with that, you guys got to see some awesome stuff from that footage. You got to see how 3 different types of baits and lures react to those different blades. And I really think you can take away a lot from that to showcase at certain speeds, one may be more preferred than the other. In my personal experience, I have used all of these and have found that your smile blade is the most consistent at the slow speeds. Your shaker wing gives you the most erratic action as a whole, because the offsetting blades on the shaker wing here give that bait a side to side, up and down, almost it's erratic like this, and so that fish comes in behind and all of a sudden is trying to track it down. That is an almost escape flight kind of from a bait fish perspective, and those predator fish see that thing dart away, and that's what will cause an aggressive strike. With your Carnivore Blade, you had almost kind of a combination of both, and I really was cool to see that, because you had a nice attractive spin, but it also got kind of wider and caused some erratic, as I called it in the other video, skip beak action. So this has a combination almost appearance to it. And then when you look at the spinning glow itself, and this was a little bit surprising to me, to be honest. I didn't think it would be as true. I knew it would spin instantly, but I would say the most consistent spinning of all those blades was the spinning glow, and it even imparts a very subtle erratic action, but it's spinning around the same consistency of that line. So I'd say in your situations where you're really wanting to downsize your terminal tackle, you're targeting fish maybe later in the season where those big aggressive blades are too much attraction, that with the spinning glow will be absolutely deadly. Or even just on a high pressure day. Let's say you're fishing one of the local lakes that has 100 boats on it, and all that pressure has those fish turned off. So what do? You downsize. You means downsizing your dodgers. That means downsizing your terminal tackle in. From going to something like a 2-inch squid that's a bigger profile, you may have to go down to a small little rasticle just to give them something different, but also still maintaining an attraction threshold. So I think this really gave us a great look into how effective different blades can be. And all we did was just touch base on some of the more common, I would say, and we can look now coming up soon into something where you have your metal blades. So we just were looking at more or less your plastic, your smile blade, your shaker wing, and your carnivore blade are made out of a polyurethane plastic material. Your spinning glow has that in the wings with a styrofoam body. So they're synthetic, and which is great. I mean, it allows you to have some different customizability, but those metal blades act different. And I think that's going to be one to show you guys next on how the different metal blades affect your spinner rigs for kokanee fishing. So I'm going to set that on tap for my next tank testing video to show you guys, but I really hope you guys learned a lot from this. I know I did. I'm going to take this to the water and keep everything in the memory bank of what I saw today. So thanks for watching, guys. If you like these types of videos, give us a thumbs up. There's going to be a lot more of these tank testing ones coming real soon. Kokanee, salmon trout, steelhead. I have a lot of ideas, so this is going to be fun. Hope you guys enjoy, subscribe. If you have any comments or questions, send them down below. I'm happy to answer as many as I can, and just can't thank you guys enough for all the support. So stay tuned for more, and we'll see you on the water, guys. Take care. Fish on!